Ghost here, chilling on the couch. I got my favorite Zastava, which is a M76 designated Marksman rifle. These were all milled out. It's basically a beefed up AK. It doesn't use the same system as the PSL, and it doesn't shoot 7.62 by 54. It shoots 8mm Mauser, so it's got more punch to it. Now, this one's old, really old. I bought this from Ohio Rapid Fire from Todd. It was like probably I'd say a year before he died. Fortunately, back then this was before SAFE Act in New York, so you could have something like this, but they had to chop things up to, neuter it. Finally got this piece. Was so almost impossible to find, but the front sight block has the integrated flash hider, as you can see, and it's got counterbore threads for a silencer. This is what they do in New York. Just cut it straight up, and they milled flat the bayonet lug. There was no bayonet lug, so it's a shame, but it's been brought back to its former glory now. And like I said, I refinished the wood. I didn't like the way he did it with the shellac. I'm not a fan of shellac, but if I could have one rifle for them to bring back, I would tell them start importing this bad guy again, because this is a great friggin' rifle. It's a very accurate. I've hit 500 yards reaching out. This isn't even a problem with this. The scope, the M76 scope, which is made by Zrak. It's a good scope. It's got a nice rangefinder, same as like a PSL Dragunov, but there's way better optics out there nowadays than that. So it's not the best for if you really want to reach out there, and you gotta be careful what loads you use. I mean, it will shoot the surplus ammunition, the old corrosive stuff, but there is special M75 ammo that I use for this, and that was made for this in Yugoslavia. You can see if I have a couple of rounds laying around. I can show you what the difference between the two, because it's way flatter trajectory, and it just has no problem cycling, nothing. You got the adjustable gas up front like a M90 would have, except it's not 5.56. It needs it for all the power of the 8mm. So I'll flip this thing around, and again, this is all milled, totally milled out. The parts are so hard to find, even the kits alone. See these going on Gunbroken now for $5,000, which is insane. I guess because they were so rare and weren't brought in. There wasn't many that was brought in. They were so. Let me go see if I can find some of those bullets, and I can show you the difference. Alright, so got a couple rounds here. This is 8mm. I mean, I clean this stuff up before I shoot it, because it's old. Some of the stuff is old, but I mean, I don't know if you can see the head stamps on here, but yeah, it's pretty hard to see. This one's from 1949. Looks like Turkish ammunition. It will fire this stuff. What we got here? It's so hard to see these casings. This one is Yugoslavian from 1954. Okay, so now here's your main difference here. You got tons of this Yugoslavian ammunition sitting around. this is what you want to use for the M76, and you could always tell by the color of the primer here. I really wish we'd pick up the head stamps. The color of the primer here, I got here, this is from 1982. There you go. This was designed for this rifle. I mean, I bought a ton of surplus, cleaned it all up before you shoot it, obviously, but this stuff is what you want to use out of this. You don't want to go blowing up your now $5,000 rifle, right? So that's what I recommend to use out of that. And again, this has been what I would say debanned from New York State. What they did to this rifle, which, you know, really sucked. Now you can't even have this, period, unless you fix the mag in there. But yeah, these are great. I don't know why Zastava, I don't know, I think they sold all their tooling to Iraq, if I'm not wrong here. But this is better than, in my opinion, this is way better than the M91. I don't like the M91. I don't like the cartridge. So if you happen to see one of these and you can grab one, definitely grab an M76. Let me I'll flip it over for you so you can see the other side. This thing, mind you, this thing isn't very light. It's pretty heavy, and it's got to be, you know, it's milled. That's the original sling too. And like when these came in, you get these for, you know, like $1,500, $2,000 for the legit all matching ones with the real Yugoslavian barrel. But that was a long time ago. It was over 10 years ago. It's about 2008, around there. This one's from, yeah, I'd say about 2006 or 7. So you know, here you go with the other side here. And you know, you can use this grip on any M70. They all fit. I use them on, I got one on one of my M70s actually. But yeah, it wasn't too hard to change it out the front sight. That wasn't that bad. I thought it was going to be a pain. Need like a 12-ton press or something, but I didn't. Ended up doing it with the good old-fashioned way with some 2x4s and you know, a hammer and a punch and a lot of caution. So that's it. If I could recommend one rifle for them to come back out with, you know, it would be this. But I don't think they have the tooling, and they don't, you know, the wood, everything's so hard to find now. So a lot of people ask me, what's your favorite Zastava, since you do some Zastava videos. It's definitely the M76 designated marksman's rifle. This is one badass beast of a machine, and it's even today it serves could serve one hell of a purpose. Semi-automatic 8mm Mauser. I mean, come on. So yeah, this is my favorite one, and I have shown you in videos how to convert that mount to use on an M70, and because I've converted it numerous times to put, I could switch back from the one from my M70, and I put a Picatinny rail there, so if I want to use it something else. I like shooting this even with the iron sights. It's pretty damn accurate with iron sights. You get 300 yards with the iron sights, no problem. So yeah, it's my favorite Zastava. So if you find one, grab one. You know, they're just gonna keep going up in value. So this is it. M76 8mm designated marksman's rifle. Ghost out.